The Earth appears very huge, with numerous states, billions of people, faiths, and ideologies. The Earth is actually very small, smaller than any guess. We are taking you on a journey through the vastness of the universe. As we distance ourselves from the Earth and the solar system, our journey will go on, disappearing into the past. We will take you to that point on the Earth, and in the skies where this entire game has begun. We will find many points along the way that most of us may never have imagined. We will find out whether our lookalikes exist anywhere in the universe. In this journey, we will also meet those who are millions of miles away from us, but speak our languages. Yes, really you will see it speaking our languages, because it falls on this very journey of ours. In this journey, we will also see the planets. They may be our future dwellings. You will have your first flight with us today on this fabulous journey. Our journey will start from our first station, 0.384 million kilometers away, because it's the nearest place we can land. It is the moon. It is the nearest heavenly body to the Earth, so near that a spacecraft can take us there in 3/4 days. But it is so distant that all planets, the Earth and the moon, can be accommodated in this gap. As many as 30 Earths can be put at this distance. This round-shaped stone has been the most beautiful dream of man for millions of years. In our childhood, an old lady on the moon was weaving on a spindle, but no old lady was found when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon on July 24, 1979. Rather, the following 6 missions to the moon also did not find any. Thus, science took away from us a beautiful story of ancient times. Japanese had a story in the curriculum of school children until the last century. That week-old man wrapped in a sheet was burning wood in a jungle. He spotted something in the bushes. Here, a jackal, a rabbit, and a monkey were playing together. Something struck in the mind of the old man, so he called them to fetch anything to eat, or he would die without food. The monkey jumped into a stream and caught a fish. The silly and lazy jackal just caught a lizard and put it before the old man. The rabbit had the worst, as he failed to get anything to feed the hungry man. But showing extreme humility, the rabbit presented itself to the old man to eat. The rabbit said, "Oh good old man, I have nothing, so you eat me to satisfy your hunger." So the rabbit jumped into the fire. The old man removed the sheet from his body as soon as the rabbit jumped. He at once took the rabbit out of the fire and said he was not helpless and hungry, but Saka, the god of the skies. In this jungle, he was moving in disguise to test the people on Earth. It goes that Saka affixed the image of a rabbit to the moon to reward it for its sacrifice, so that it remains an example of virtue till the end of the world. This, like the stories, was popular all over the world. Even today, people who are shy about research and investigation believe in such tales. Still, a large number of people imagine the face of the moon as per its choice. But what image is this? In fact, it is not an image at all. Factually, it is lava and ashes spread all over the moon. The team of Neil Armstrong 50 years ago had in fact brought pieces of the same lava from the moon. Research on the lave revealed the eruption of countless volcanoes on the moon 3.5 billion years ago. Their lava spread thousands of miles. The congealed lava appears like spots from the Earth. Scientists called it seas of the moon or Maria. They have named every sea, like the Sea of Knowledge, the Sea of Crisis, the Sea of Cold, etc. The area of black marks that is much brighter on the moon may be called deserts. This, in fact, is the ash that the explosion of lava produced and fell on the hills like snow. When the sun sheds light on the ashes, they reflect and illuminate in every direction. Neil Armstrong also happened to land on the same soft ashes on the moon. That is why his footprint was so clear and deep. Man had landed on the moon half a century ago. His footprints on the moon are intact to date. They appear to have been printed just a day ago. Do you know why it is so? The reason is the absence of air, clouds, and rain on the moon. Because the moon does not have the same circle of air and gases as we do on Earth, which means the moon does not have an atmosphere. For that matter, the human footprint on the moon will stay intact for millions or billions of years. But the question is whether humanity will be present anywhere in its present form by that time. or the evolutionary process would have given it another shape. It may also be possible that the warrior temperament of man has ended humanity. One thing was certain: whether man existed or not, his footprints would stay on the moon for countless ages. But it was not only the footprints of Neil Armstrong that would remain on the moon for good. Here, the prints of another 12 astronauts would also stay intact. They had landed on the moon after Apollo XI through Apollo XAI, XIII, XIV, XVI, and XVII. The moon also bears the prints of golfer Shepard smashes when he played golf on the lunar surface. The moon will also bear the prints of lunar vehicles for innumerable ages. But a name also goes with them all. Well, dear, did you know a person had printed the name of a beautiful girl on the moon's surface? In fiction, lovers promise their beloveds fetching moons and stars, which is actually not possible. But here is a man who promised his daughter to write her name on the moon, and he made good on his promise. Yes, this man was Eugene Cernan, commander of the Apollo 17 mission. He stayed at the moon for 3 days in 1972, and on his return, he did a weird act. He leaned down and wrote Tracy, the name of his daughter, on the bright land of the moon. It was an everlasting gift to his daughter. He was certainly quite happy about it. But it also had a mellow grief. Till his death, he regretted not taking the picture of Tracy's name on the moon's surface. When the camera was available and video recording was also on, Apollo XVA was the last mission Eugene took to the moon. After that, no man had landed on the moon. This picture of the Earth is credited as the most beautiful taken from the moon on the return of the mission. The first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong, and the last one, Eugene Cernan, are no more. But history is going to take a big turn. Man is once again preparing to reach and set up a permanent station on the moon. It may become a reality within the next 10 to 15 years, and also see its advantages. A permanent base on the moon would mean research to take advantage of the lunar resources. However, it is a matter of time, and at present, we can see only one beautiful side of the moon. Yes, only one side. Truly reply, how many of us think why, over the millions of years, only one side of the moon has been watchable? Why is the full moon always the same, specked and bright, while big marks are also always the same? The reason the moon not only moves around the world, but also revolves around its axis. It takes equal time to complete one round of the Earth and move on its axis. That is why humans on Earth cannot see the other side of the moon. This process is called face lock. But the man has made much progress. He has also traced out the second side of the moon. Man pictured the second side, called the far side of the moon years ago, which we saw on a massive scale. Now, a robotic mission from China has also landed on the other side of the moon. Until the upload of this video, it had conducted different experiments on the moon. Possibly, man can get further information regarding the creation of the Earth and the moon. But so far, we have learned that the other side of the moon is extremely beautiful and bright, because here, the black spots are much smaller in number. Had the poets seen the second side, they would have imagined their beloved in that context. Possibly, our love for the moon has a scientific history, because the moon was once part of our Earth, and that part was separated from the Earth some 4.5 billion years ago, due to the impact of a huge meteor. And according to the universal law of gravitation, it began to move around the bigger body, the Earth, and with the passage of time, it is also gradually moving away. The process is continuing to date. The moon is distancing itself from the Earth by 3.8 centimeters every year. But hold on for a moment and ask, how do we know this fact? The first two astronauts, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, did their last job before returning to Earth from the moon. They did what proved human foot on the moon. They placed a retroreflector on the moon sand ashes. It was a mirror that reflected the laser light from the Earth back to it. It was like you shed light on a mirror or a wall that reflected back to you. But they were not the only astronauts who installed reflectors on the moon. But the reflectors were also installed at different points by the astronauts on the other two missions. The reflectors are still there, helping us to know how distant the moon is from us. They also helped us know the moon is distancing itself from us by 3.8 centimeters every year. The moon will not be sighted after. Let us move ahead to the sun. It goes that the sun will rise from the west before doomsday. But between the sun and us, a land exists where every day is a doomsday. Yes, we are leading you to that place where the sun rises daily in the west. We will also show you the tale of this station in the next episode. Subscribe our channel, like this video, and press the notification bell to get new updates.